Greetings, visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. And I thought what we talk about today is the old Sigma slash Alpha thing. I like to just do a little search, and I do quite a bit of scrolling today before I got anything fresh. But the video I saw is why INFJs are the real alphas. Now, I don't plan on watching that video, and I'll tell you why. I don't like the AI dictation. I'm sure maybe a human wrote it. I don't know. There's a human involved somewhere. I don't like the B-roll. I don't mind a little bit of AI. In fact, we have a lovely AI image of Artemis today, and I think she's a perfect example of a sort of archetype that might represent an INFJ. Artemis is well, she's the goddess of the hunt, for one thing, and also she is the rebel. I think she is, and I find her quite inspiring. And so that's why we've used this image today, and my assistant came up with this image. And well, now I'll be honest with you, I had to I had to cajole it along to get something like this, but I'm real happy with it, and I think you'll like it too. Anyway, why are INFJs the real alphas? Well, I'll tell you what I think. Now, first of all, alpha, sigma, those are terms that mostly pertain to what's called the social sexual hierarchy. Now, I guess there are alpha women. I don't really know, but for the most part, the concept of alpha is referring to men and to their social dynamic. Like the alpha is going to be the leader, the alpha is going to be in charge over all the other types. If the alpha goes missing, it's the bravo that comes up right under him. And if the bravo is missing, it'll be the delta that comes up under him. And if the delta is missing, it'll be the gamma. And so we just went through alpha, brava, delta, gamma. Then we have the sigma. And I think a lot of the reason why INFJs relate to the sigma archetype is that it does very closely correspond to us in that we are outside of the normal social hierarchy of society for the most part. Now, that's not 100% true because there's a lot of INFJs that are very adaptable, very good at disguising themselves, or they may not even know they're disguising themselves. They're just slotting in the best way they can. And but the fact of the matter is, an INFJ that's sort of being true to their INFJness is going to be the natural outsider. They're going to have the outside perspective just as a natural part of their being alive. And the reason for this is the introverted intuition. And the introverted intuition, let's face it, all sorts of things are floating around in the cloud, and your extroverted introvert is quite good at surfing the cloud of intuition and pulling together ideas and directions. But it's the INFJ that will pause on any aspect of the intuition that seems significant, and then we will start drilling down. And we, for the most part, will drill down regardless of whether the ideas are acceptable to society at large or not. This is a fact. Now, this doesn't make us evil. It just means that we are, I don't even want to use the word intellectually curious, we're intuitively curious. And we want to know the answers. And we really don't care that much about the niceties. On the one hand, from the standpoint of the introverted intuition, we don't care at all about them. But right under that, to help us fit in with the world, fit in with everybody, get along, we have extroverted feeling component. And that is always going to be kind of pulling us down, dragging us down. But it is not the driving force. It is not the primary motivator of the INFJ. It's just something we have to deal with and use. Sometimes we can use it creatively. I like to think that's what I do here on this channel. This is basically the whole thing is an art project, in a sense. It's just about creating conversation, expressing what I am as an INFJ, and sharing with you, right? But none of this is answering the question why we're more alpha than an alpha. And I'll tell you why I think that is. And I had to preface all that with the social sexual hierarchy because let's face it, these days the social sexual hierarchy wasn't what it was because we are living as quote unquote civilized people. We are not anywhere near needing to go out and hunt our food or forage on the ground for mushrooms and things like that just to collect enough to eat. We're kind of past that. So much of the what constitutes the social sexual hierarchy was put in place to keep us going, right? Anyway, that said, why are we more alpha than an alpha? Well, because we don't need to be in charge. We could be. We might have. In fact, I can guarantee you, many of us have the good ideas that probably should be implemented. But we stand apart. We can go. We can go. I don't need you. I don't need to be involved. I don't care. That is a special sort of strength that the alpha won't have. The alpha cannot help but care what the people that are subordinate to them think of them. Okay, they need to have that position of leadership. They need to be calling the shots, and they need to be answerable to their subordinates. Right? This is not your INFJ Sigma profile. We can have dalliances with this sort of thing. We can be in leadership positions, and when we're in leadership positions, we're going to do our best to march around and do the alpha thing to the best of our ability. It's just like any other costume that we can put on. The difference is, of course, that for a true alpha, it's not a costume they put on. It's not an act for them. It's just who they are. For an INFJ that is cast into the role of the alpha, it's just a role. It's just something they can do. And I think we actually do a very good job of impersonating alphas when we need to. And a lot of times people mistake us for alphas simply because we won't take crap in the same way that other types might. We won't take that crap because we can always retreat to a position of introversion and find our strength there. We don't need to have to find strength through the support of people that are subordinate to us. We don't really even think that way. I don't, and I know, in fact, when I'm saying the word subordinate, I have a definite sense that many of you are wincing, like, oh, whoa, 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 we don't like that term. And we don't. INFJs don't like to think in those terms, usually, because all we really care is that we aren't being kicked around. We aren't being told what to do. We aren't being controlled, and sometimes that means that you may have to be the person that puts themselves in that position of nominal authority. Maybe it's on a job or in any other kind of organization or situation. As I said in a previous broadcast, the INFJ can be the school class president. They know how to pull the peeps together. And through the insights garnered through their introverted intuition, they may come up with the ideas that can help establish their rule. But I don't think when you try and write that large, I don't think we have enough motivation to. Maybe there's been an INFJ as president. I've heard that Jimmy Carter was. Some of you younger people probably never even heard of that guy, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about him. We have the example of Gandhi, and I don't know enough about him either, other than to know that something had to be fixed there in India, and he said about fixing it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the old INFJ versus the alpha thing, and until I come back in a couple more days, INFJ, keep on keeping on.